Now, isn't DeepSeek going to be used for capitalist purpose? Why does it matter if it's better than Burgerland version of AI? So I'm going to get to that. Hold on. I think the funniest part about the DeepSeek stuff is not necessarily that they're making a version of the AI that is like even better than the American version or anything. Okay. I think people are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I think DeepSeek in many ways just kind of exposes the fraudulent nature of like the tech sector. Crazy thing is that it isn't even a CCP thing. It was just a CEO who started as a side project for fun, and he only used $6 million and a team of 200 people. The CEO also said that the achievement and honor matter more to him than the team than money, which is why it's open source. Didn't you cover Lena Khan's work on this before? I think we briefly talked about it, but yeah. DeepSeek just proved Lena Khan right. The former FTC chair warned that enabling protectionism for tech monopolies wouldn't just hurt all of us, it would hurt them too. Now they're getting wiped out. By the way, they did it a second time. DeepSeek launches Janus Pro 7B open source multimodal AI which surpasses DALL-E 3 and Stable Diffusion in benchmarks. This is why the timeline has been on fire and people are losing their minds over it. If the American marketplace was already under the assumption that like the Chinese the Chinese government or Chinese corporations have the capacity to create competitive products, especially at a much lower price point, okay, this would not be as shocking. It would not have market. You would not experience market shocks in the way that you're currently experiencing them, because you would have already hedged your bets against that sort of thing. As informed investors would look at this and go, "Of course, that's the case." If our approach to AI was not dissimilar to the Chinese one, where the attitude was, well, this is supposed to be, especially in its infancy, something that should be given to the world, partially because it must be open source because of the necessary training, but also because like this isn't supposed to be a tool that is paywalled, but instead a tool that advances society. This would not be the case. Anyway. I think that it demonstrates that this sort of innovation doesn't require what the American tech sector said it does. No regulation, billions of dollars, and no consideration for the end user being mindful of it. This sort of shatters that illusion. It's getting banned by Trump, right? I don't even know. I mean, yes, but also I don't necessarily know how they would successfully stop this. I feel like the rest of the world would utilize it. Anyway, let's just get started. Let's just get started on DeepSeek AI. Something that I talked about for the past couple of days, now actually exploding. Big tech is in panic mode. This is from Fireship. Did DeepSeek R1 just pop the AI bubble? But let's start with the stonks.
About DeepSeek, because it is mind-blowing and it is shaking this entire industry to its core. The emergence of DeepSeek now putting pressure on the U.S. tech names. We told you all about it last week in Davos. The buzz started growing about DeepSeek.
Like, my attitude on this has not changed. I still think it's slop. Do you understand? Like, my attitude on this has not changed. AI is an incredibly valuable tool for the future. Okay, it's a tool nonetheless. Unfortunately, under capitalism, all new technological innovations are used in one direction and one direction only. That is to displace the existing labor force, right? AI must be a tool for the people and not for the bosses. This is something that we have to regulate against. As a matter of fact, the government is supposed to regulate against these sorts of things, okay? But AI as it stands is absolutely in its infancy. It still has a tremendous amount of development that it must go through in order for it to be like a viable thing that changes people's lives in a super meaningful capacity. Okay? Streamer who automates his work via free labor says AI is slop. Wait, what? Automates his work via free labor? What? Do you think Hasanabe Industrial Complex, I'm memeing? Free labor? Those people make more money than your fucking dad. And also, that goes along with my principle that I don't maintain IP control. I don't maintain any IP control over the things that I talk about, the content that I make, so that those people, if they want to, can make money off of it. And they do. It's basically open source. DeepSeek team released their multimodal image generator, Janus Pro, this morning. I know. Open source and it's easy to run. NVIDIA and Altman is cooked. Over $1 trillion has been wiped from the stock market today. NVIDIA has now erased more than $600 billion of its own market cap today. That is more than double the market cap of Coca-Cola. This exceeds the previous record of the biggest one-day drop in a stock history, which was when Meta stock dropped by $251 billion. They're under attack. Due to large-scale malicious attacks on DeepSeek services, we are temporarily limiting registrations to ensure continued service. Existing users can log in as usual. Thanks for your understanding and support. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Classic. Well, the American government was like, yeah, we can't have you have this tool for free because Sam Altman needs to. We just signed off on Sam Altman getting $500 billion. It's really fucked up. Oh, get excited for a lot of this stuff too. Like they're going to talk about how like DeepSeek is secretly a Chinese operation to, continue undermining America.
Its latest AI model being more efficient while running on a lot less advanced NVIDIA chips. Released last week, it's already being called what is a major breakthrough as the app shows its work, its reasoning, it answers users' prompts. I, by the way, was spent basically all weekend playing with it. It is the #1 app, I believe, on Apple right now. The product overtaking ChatGPT today as that on the App Store that way. DeepSeek, which was created by a Chinese hedge fund manager, also capturing the attention of leaders, as we mentioned at the World Economic Forum last week in Davos.
We should take the development out of China very, very seriously.
What we found is that DeepSeek, which is the leading Chinese AI lab, their model is actually the top performing or roughly on par with the best American models.
If the United States can't lead in this technology, we're going to be in a very bad place geopolitically.
Now, you can take a look right now at the AI-related stocks. So NVIDIA, ARM, AMD, Microsoft, Meta, interestingly, on that list, given its open source. We got to talk about the open source, closed source bit of this as well.
And then that's a shocker to see NVIDIA down by more than 12% right now.
Absolutely. And then you have global chip stocks also in the red across the board, ASML Holdings and others. There is the question, I will say, Alexander Wang made the point last week, and it's become sort of the question mark about all of this, which is, he suggested on our air that it is possible that they were using some of the highest performing NVIDIA chips, perhaps as many as 50,000 of them, to build this model. Now, and they weren't supposed to have those chips.
Right.
If
So
that's
if that's the case, this is
true,
not the size.
the dynamic is different. If it's not true, then maybe all bets are off. It's possible, by the way, even if it is true, meaning even if they use those chips to create this, or at least partially to create this, it is still a significantly more efficient and better model. I think everybody agrees that right this moment, I mean, I don't know if did you get to play? It is mind-blowing.
It looks really great. I mean, it feels like it's open source, so people can test this out themselves.
But I can tell you all the tests that I do just to see whether I think the writing is better, whether I think that it can answer certain questions. I mean, it was not only faster, it was more human. The reasoning is shocking.
Dude, I fucking love this shit. I'm sorry. It's hard. It's hard to live. It's hard to not see a moment where, like, very clearly you can have so much technological innovation, not even have it be hyper focused on supercharged profits, and done under the watchful gaze of a communist government. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Ryan Grimm says, most people don't own these stocks, etc., but this is what it looks like to lose a global competition. The downstream effects lead to a lower standard of living for the losing society and a higher for the winners. But our tech oligarchs will remain wealthy beyond description no matter what. This should be an important moment of recognition for our American overlords to perhaps move away from the previous models. And I don't mean previous models of AI. I mean just like previous modes of governance. Okay? But of course, this will just simply lead to more xenophobia, specifically xenophobia. Okay? And instead of going, hey, maybe we should cherish international open cooperation and look to uplift society, we will continue trying to maintain the zero-sum singular hegemonic power status game that we've been playing. And the inevitable reality of that outcome is that if the other country wins, then we're on their whims. Then we're in their mercy. Okay? Because if they choose to operate in a similar fashion, what if they dominate us? And that is the fear that many Americans hold. Meanwhile, this could be a great opportunity for everyone to say, hey, all right, well, it seems like China's coming up a little bit. Okay? Seems like they're coming up. They're coming up big time. So maybe we should stop behaving like violent animals and seek to uplift the world, instead of engaging in endless profit seeking. But of course, I'm joking. I mean, come on. That would never happen. That would never fucking happen. No, we're just going to fight back tooth and nail. And the only things that are going to happen in the process is that just like the American workers are going to get shafted. Yes. The American government is going to get more aggressive. And we're just going to go down kicking and screaming. Yeah. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like to me.
There were moments where I was like, oh my God, we are so much, you could feel the step change as a person. I will also say,
I love how much this guy's glazing in. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this in a second. Silicon Valley stuff.
Exciting as it was, there was an element where I became scared because I thought, oh, I had the opportunity to talk to all these people last week and they all said the future's here and da-da-da-da. And then you sort of see it and you go, oh, okay, I feel you in a different sort of visceral way. So yes, I think this is all happening at a level that when you mark your sort of AI history timeline in life, I think this past week, today and everything else will be on it.
I think, Mark,
it's just like a very strange thing where we see technological advancements, okay? Like, there's nothing, I think, more anti-human than being so profit invested, so profit slanted, and so I guess nationalistic that you see like technological advancements happening around the globe that will advance mankind, even though like AI in and of itself, once again, I'm gonna urge you to understand, doesn't matter if it's Chinese or American AI, AI still is at its infancy. One day we will look back, maybe in the future, if we make it that far, if AI doesn't literally melt the planet so that the dumbest crypto guys can make their stupid fucking AI art. But if that doesn't happen, one day we will look back at this moment and go, we thought this was fire. Okay? And I'll give you an example of the exponential growth of technology. This is an iPhone. Okay? This right here is an iPhone. This has enough computing power in this tiny little thing, probably 100 times more powerful than my first desktop computer. I had a Pentium. It was a massive tower, you know? And now this thing is infinitely cheaper in comparison when you think about it, right? And it's 1,000 times more powerful. So like that happened in my lifetime.